Me making this video is that before I started to reapply for university, I had no clue how to start, where to start, or who to chat to help me with my UCAS application. All I knew was that I needed to do a personal statement and I needed to fill in the UCAS form. I had done it previously in year 13, but that was 2 years ago now, so I was really scared about reapplying. And also there's always the worry when you're reapplying to university that the course is going to be the right one for you this time, that the university is going to be the right one for you this time, and also you do kind of have that little niggle in the back of your head of what people are going to think when you say that this is the second time that you're going to university. So these are the kind of things that I'm going to be speaking to you about today, and I hope this is really helpful for anyone. Like I said, I didn't find anything particularly helpful when I was trying to reapply, so that's why I'm making this video for you today. The first thing I want to talk about is UCAS. UCAS is the big website which everyone in Britain uses to apply for university. So if you don't know about it, if you're in year 12 or maybe even year 11 and you're thinking about university already, you will be explained about UCAS when you're in school. But yes, everyone who is applying to university or who has applied to university should know about UCAS. The first thing you have to do is to create your login, and it should say the login for the date in which you wish to apply, and I'm applying for 2017 entry, so I put all my details in and created my login for UCAS for 2017 entry. But the next thing you need to do when you're applying for university is you need to make sure, especially if you've been to university before, that the second time you apply you know for definite which courses you want to do, which universities you want to go to, and whether it is the right place for you at the right time. Don't have to go to university straight away. That is what I've learned. I've taken 2 years away from school, and now I've got to the position where I want to go back to university. I've looked around all the universities, I've looked at all the courses, I've done so much research, and now I feel, as I'm almost 20 and I'll be going to university at almost 21, that I will definitely be ready to go to university. So that's the second thing you have to make sure when you're applying for university, especially if you're applying for the second time, that you know where you're going. Point number 3 is that you can always go back to your school teachers to ask for help. I've gone back to my old head of sixth form and he has been absolutely brilliant. He did my reference for me, which is very key, and he also helped me through the whole process, especially with personal statements and things like that. And I was very fortunate that my old school let me go through them, so they actually sent my UCAS application off in the end, which was really good of them. So yes, do not be afraid to go back to your old school. I'm pretty sure that most of the time they will be very helpful and very eager to help you get off to university. Another thing that I have to mention, which I completely forgot, and I was waiting for my UCAS application to be sent off, but then my teacher informed me that I hadn't actually paid for the UCAS application. Well, I paid £21 to send my UCAS application off. I'm not too sure about the whole format, I've completely forgotten all of that. But yes, you have to make sure that you have paid for your UCAS application before it gets sent off. So if you're waiting around twiddling your thumbs and thinking, why is it not gone, maybe ask whether you have paid or look at your application to make sure you have paid. So personal statements. This is one of the major things about a UCAS application, is your personal statement. It's 47 lines basically selling yourself to all of the universities that you want to go to. And the thing is that you have to make it generic to all of the universities. So if you're applying to one course which is slightly different to another course, you have to try and tailor your personal statement to show off your assets and everything that you've achieved that will really help you and really put you forward as a really good candidate for the course. But my tips are, make sure you use all of the words, because 9 times out of 10, if you don't use all the words, you're not selling yourself as much as you can be. I literally got up to 47 lines. I think I wrote 1,000 words at first, and then I had to majorly chop it down. So yes, you've got to make sure you use all of the space that you have just to make sure you're putting yourself forward in the best way possible. The second tip for a personal statement is do lots of drafts. I did 6 drafts of my personal statement this time, and I also did 7 the first time. So lots of drafts, you've got to keep double checking, going over it, making sure that everything is perfect, spelling's perfect, punctuation, and you can't do that without doing drafts. Tip is get advice from your peers or get advice from your parents or teachers, and make sure that you are collaborating with other people so that they can input their ideas, because you can put forward what you think but it may not come across that same way to everyone else, so it is always really good to have a second opinion. I asked both my parents their opinion because obviously I'm not in school, and they were so helpful, so thank you to mum and dad. But yes, always get someone to double check it for you just in case you've missed something out or it just doesn't flow as nicely as it should be. My fourth tip for personal statements is write it in Word. Use Microsoft Word and then copy and paste it into UCAS to make sure it's the right amount of lines. The word count is down the bottom in Microsoft Word, but the whole UCAS application takes it with spaces included as well. So that's 47 lines with spaces included, 4,000 characters, something like that. So you've got to make sure that it does fit inside the box, and the best way to do that, write it in Word, copy and paste it into UCAS to double check. So the final thing when reapplying to university or applying to university in the first place, when you're going to look at the universities, make sure you check out more than just the course. So make sure you check out the accommodation, make sure you check out the Students' Union, any nights out, check out the town. Go and ask all the students all of their opinions on the university, because at the end of the day you're there for 3 years and you want to have the experience as a whole of the university and not just the course. So that is my number one tip really for when you're going to look at universities, is just spend all day there. Really look at the accommodation as well. That's one major thing that affected me the last time I went. So yes, you've got to be very thorough when you're looking at universities. Once you've sent off your UCAS application, you have to just wait. And that is what I'm doing right now, is I'm waiting. I'm waiting to hear back from the universities, I'm waiting for their reply. And it is so frustrating, but also so exciting. I think this is probably one of the most exciting times. I know when I was in year 13 it was so exciting waiting for the little track email to come through. I'm really excited to get all my offers and then finally go off to university again in 2017. Don't worry too much if you don't get your answer straight away. Both the universities that I applied for sent me an email confirming that they got my application. All you've got to know is that they will reply to you one way or another, so it's just a bit of a waiting game, and a really exciting one at that. So, good luck to everyone if you are applying to university, and good luck to anyone reapplying for university. If you have any questions to me about my